why your kids do not go to school, please help me welcome Priscilla Salazar.
Okay, good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Now everyone homeschool their kids, right? Well, some of you may know that my kids have never been to school. I know and I see that here in the States it is quite common. In Mexico it is not that common. As we can see, homeschooling offers you the opportunity to accomplish your academic education without going to school. However, today I want to tell you about a slightly different concept that expresses why my kids don't go to school. Before we got married, my husband and I decided that we wanted to homeschool our kids because I had a very good experience dropping out of school when I was 18. And we wanted to give our children the same experience and freedom, but at an earlier age. However, as they grew older, we started to notice that they would learn many things just by following their own motivations and interests. For example, my oldest son, Mateo, he learned to read when he was 4 or 5 because he wanted to understand the video game instructions on the screen. I would explain to him the basics of letters and sounds, but he figured out how written language works. That experience made us realize and think about some important concepts. One of them is that all of us can learn anything if we really want or need to learn it. For example, how many of you have gained an important or a new skill just by watching a YouTube tutorial? Why did you learn so much in a 5-minute video? Because you really needed that information. Perhaps you had a question or a problem, and when you found the answer, you were ready to learn it. That is called meaningful learning. Another important concept is that the most harmful damage of schooling is the thought that if I don't have a teacher, I cannot learn anything. That thought makes us people without initiative. Perhaps you know someone who cannot do his job if he does not receive very clear and specific instructions. One of the reasons why my husband is very appreciated in his current job is because he always finds a way to find the information he needs or solve a problem even when he doesn't know how to do it. And that's another important concept. When you have a deeper reason to do something, then you can learn anything you need in order to accomplish it. So thinking about all this information and new concepts, we decided that we didn't want just to teach our kids knowledge. We wanted to strengthen their internal motivations because in that way, they would always be eager to learn. So my husband came up with a new word. It's supra-schooling. This is a 2-word term. The word supra means over, above, or beyond. And schooling is the process of teaching or being taught in a school. So supra-schooling means beyond schooling. Or in our own words, taking control of your own learning. When you take control of your own learning, you have the freedom to choose the best resources you want to use in your own development. Then you realize that school is just another resource among many others that you can use for your own purposes, but any of them controls you or dominates you. So we consider that this is such a powerful message that we wanted to share with other people, with other parents. That's why in 2013, I wrote a book in Spanish. It is called Aprendizaje Supraescolar, which means supraschooling learning. In this book, I explain in detail this concept. So now that our kids are entering adolescence, we are very surprised by the results we see in them. Now they can think, listen, read, write, and speak critically. They have learned how to program video games, how to film, how to edit video, how to make math, complex math concepts. They know how to write, how to read, and they know how to speak English as a second language. But the great thing is that we haven't taught them any of this. They have learned all of this driven by their own interests. And the most important thing for us is not their accomplishments or academic success. The most important thing and what we value the most is that they know that they can always learn whatever they need in order to accomplish their own goals and to help other people. So in conclusion, the reason why our kids don't go to school is not because we want them to complete their school at home, but because we want them to control their own learning and their own lives. Thank you very much.
Very good.